Megtooth Sabers requires a lot of work on engineering, drilling, smoothing, tapping, setting, imagining, cutting, stripping, twisting, dipping, tin it, pin it, wire it, fire it, lock it, cast it, swing it, bash it. Megtooth Sabers.
Bam! We are live. Hey, Saber fans. Sorry Monday went amok. I had some local area network issues on my computer. And the way I use my webcam, it has to be on the local area network. And it couldn't see the local area network, and my computer wasn't on a local area network. I had some kind of a Windows update, and after that Windows update, it was like my computer was on it wouldn't, and I checked firewall settings and everything. I don't know what was going on. But I ended up doing a restore point on my computer, and that fixed everything. So now we're back on. Hey, Kendall Hall. Hello, everybody that's here. I got some new toys that I want to show y'all really quick before we demo some battle mode stuff. I got that clear mass Profi in from KR Sabers in Rebel Armory, Mike Endrichard. What's going on? But that clear mass Profi is pretty cool. And also Arkham, Tom, Arkham Razor blade plug. He was back open for 7/8" blade plugs. And I got a 7/8" razor blade plug, which is pretty cool stuff. And I got the Princess Saber fixed, and I'm going to show that to you in a minute. But right now, hey Adrian. Right now, I just wanted to quick show everybody battle mode. So this is my, Dark Force Custom Sabers Transcendence 1, and this is installed with it's installed with a Profi 1.5. Now this is running the 5.4 OS battle mode with Fernando's buttons. So some of Fernando's buttons I'm still not that used to, but I wanted to show y'all battle mode. So to get into battle mode on this, it's swing on. And now I'm in battle mode. So the cool thing about battle mode is it automatically goes into lockup. When you're clashing sabers, it goes into lockup until you pull away. Once you pull away, lockup goes off. Now if you hit and then pull away, you just get a clash kind of like, but it's using the begin lock. So that's one part of battle mode. Also during battle mode, the way that this one is set up, oh yeah, I know, is that the buttons don't really do much of anything, and that's to prevent you from turning it off. When you're in battle mode, you don't want the buttons automatically turning it off. So the only way to turn it off is to twist. Now I'm going to turn it on, swing it on to get battle mode on. So we're in battle mode. There's your lockup. Pull it away. Lockup ends. Now you also have melt. Hopefully this works and y'all can see it. And melt stops when you turn it off. You also have tip drag. Oops. There it is. Just a tip. Just a tip is going down there. Now, you also have auto blasters. So every time you swing the saber, you get a blast. And it stops if you go into lockup. Auto blasters turn off, or you can turn them off manually with the buttons. And again, hey Mad Phil, yeah, glad you caught a live stream. I'm on Thursday, which is weird. This is the only demo I'm going to do with the full-size blade because this is way too big to swing around in this small area. But the only way to deactivate when you're in battle mode is to twist the saber. Now, you don't have to run the saber in battle mode. You can still use the buttons, and then you're not in battle mode anymore. It's not giving you the lockup. You have your normal traditional clashes, your normal blasters, normal force sounds, and to get in a lockup, you can clash holding the button, or to do I always forget. There's lightning lockup, which doesn't look as good on a green blade, but still have lightning lockup. And you still have twist off, but you can also use your button to turn it off. But the cool part about it is swing on, twist off, swing on, twist off. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to put the buttons toward the camera. You can see I'm not touching them. Swing on, twist off, swing on, twist off. Now, you don't have to engage battle mode, but if you choose to, which I don't know why you wouldn't, battle mode is awesome. So I'm going to take this full-length blade out of here, and now that we've talked about battle mode OS, and I'm trying to keep up with y'all, yeah, I know Profi is so sweet, and the battle mode edition is freaking incredible. It's awesome. So I'm going to put this full-size blade away. Hopefully we won't need that anymore. And my saber, I'm going to go ahead and put the kill key back in it and shut this thing down. Now, 2 weeks ago on Megtooth Monday Live, we finished the install on this saber, and Ukulele Girl's not here, so I can tell y'all this is for, my future stepdaughter. And this is, of course, the Princess Leia hilt from The Rise of Skywalker. And a couple of weeks ago, well, for most of the Megtooth Mondays on September and October, we were installing this saber. So there's the install. And when I first installed it, we were having problems with it, and the blade wouldn't ignite, and the NeoPixel adapter was acting screwy, and I thought maybe I had a bad data line or something. But then if y'all remember at the end of that video, I tested continuity between the data on the pixel pin and data on the Profi, and we had good continuity, so it wasn't the data line. So then I ended the live stream, and I tested continuity from positive to positive on the board. I had continuity there. And then I tested continuity on the negative pins in the blade adapter. Hey, Rashimoto. I tested continuity between the negative pins on the hilt adapter and the FETs. And I did not have continuity there, which told me that, hey, I've got a broken wire, a broken solder point at the hilt connector, or a broken solder point at the board. Turned out it was a broken wire or not a good solder of the negative hilt adapter onto the board. So I hit that with some solder, and bada bing. The Leia Saber works. Now this one is not running the new OS, but the Leia Saber works. The Leia Saber is up and running. And now, Rashimoto, I actually just started. I did a little bit of demo of I got a blade plug for this one too, Arkham Razor blade plug. Y'all tell me what you think about that. And, oh yeah, Fernando's on. So yeah, Fernando, I got my web camera working. So I got an Arkham Razor blade plug in there, and you can see the stock NeoPixels lighting it up, and that thing looks pretty sweet. So the Leia hilt is now install success. Now I'm waiting on I'm putting actually mother of pearl inlays in there. That thing's going to be pretty sweet when I'm done, and that is going to be a Christmas present for Ella. Now, I take on a lot of these jobs because for whatever reason, if y'all don't know, I'm in the 501st Legion here in Carolina Garrison, same as Fernando. And for whatever reason, in the 501st Legion, all the people are still buying these master replica hilts. This is a master replica hilt. This one is a 2005 master replicas, and this is a skinny flex, which this was Anakin's lightsaber in Revenge of the Sith. Of course, it's not a skinny flex. It's humongous. It's a master replica. Hey, Chet Osborne. Chet Osborne's nice. He's on. And basically, the owner of this saber, he was storing it in his garage, and the batteries exploded inside of it. It had the green goo all over the battery pack. It was just absolutely ruined, and he was going to throw it away. And I was like, no, don't throw it away. And I'll tell you why. I convert a lot of these for a lot of the 501st Legion guys, and I converted this one. I used the custom saber shops, graflex, MHS, or I'm sorry, Master Replicas adapter. It's in there. I put a new gold button in there on the bottom. That's a brand new gold button. A lot of times on these, I'll use a graflex button for activation, but on this one I did something different, which I'll show you that in a second. But this one is NeoPixel. This is a NeoPixel lightsaber. But what I do is I use a MHS V6 chassis, and this one has swappable batteries. And there you can see my Profi, which I tried wearing this one a little bit different because I was trying something different, and I don't really like it, but it is what it is. But you just slide the chassis back in there, and it goes pretty deep. And then I tighten a little retention screw here on the side. And I'll show you what I did on this that was unique. Hey, Mountain Sabers, good to see you. So these master replicas, I mean, don't throw them away if they're no good, because I can put new guts in them. But master replicas are now the best lightsabers out there. If you want a graflex, there's a lot of options out there. Master replicas ain't the best. But at any rate, I can make them better than they were. And I've made this one better than it was. In fact, let me put my small blade in it. So I'm going to put my small NeoPixel blade in there. And hopefully I got it in there deep enough. It's not on. So what I did is I took this on-off switch, and I basically turned this into a kill switch. So to turn it on, should hear a boot.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
And also on the clamp card, I put buttons here and here. Now, of course, this one has battle mode, so we don't need buttons. Still need to adjust the flash sensitivity, especially on Kyberphonic sound phones. So I did this master replica conversion, and it came out great. Battle mode. So again, I used the normal on-off switch that used to turn the saber on, turned that into a kill switch basically, and then I added buttons in the clamp here, fore and aft. But when this is equipped with Profi and battle mode, you don't even need buttons. You can run most of the saber in the feature, most features in the saber without buttons. This one just has a normal TCSS blade set pin set in there. You probably can't see it because there's not enough light. So then we get to this. This is my next project, which I'm going to talk more about this in a minute. This is a Saber Royale thin waist star killer, and I've already done some preliminary weathering on this. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see that preliminary weathering, but I did some aluminum black weathering. I'm getting ready to do some rust weathering on this thing, and I'm working on the crystal chamber. So this one should be coming out shortly. This one will be for sale because I'm not going to want that one. But I wanted to show y'all something cool. Let me turn on my power supply and get my power supply wires out because I want to show something to y'all real quick. So a couple of, oh yeah, darkness is an awesome font. So a couple of, I don't know, seems like, I guess it's a couple months ago now on Megtooth Monday, we built this thing. And I don't know if y'all remember, but this was basically a rig where we could test you know, an RGB LED Let me make sure I'm on the right voltage there on my power supply, and I am. And basically, you can use that to test this RGB LED, and we put 3 buttons on there. And you can test a red button, a green button, or a blue button, or you can actually combine buttons. Like there's a purple, there's a yellow, there's purple, there's a cyan. So you can make all kind of cool colors. And I was like, what am I going to do with this project thing after we built it? I mean, this was basically a project for people to practicing, soldering on, and I found out something. Check this out. So this is the crystal that's going in the Saber Royale Thin-Way Star Killer, and I was actually able to test and see how the crystal is going to light up, and I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but you get a preview of how that crystal is going to look when it's illuminated from the back. Yeah, no, it was pretty bad, Mike. It was a nightmare. But this cool project that was a simple little project that we put together on Megtooth Monday, and I showed you all how to do it a couple of months ago. It actually has a useful purpose where you can test, because this is a real quartz crystal, and some quartz crystals illuminate better than others, and I was able to see that this one illuminated really well, and it does. So this is the quartz crystal that I decided to use in the Star Killer, and a cool use for this project that we did a couple months ago on Megtooth Mondays. So this little project we did with a RGB common anode LED and 3 buttons on a project board actually worked great. Mike, stick around because I'm going to show something here in a minute. You might want to stick around for it because it's pretty freaking cool, and it involves us. Last, Israel Forms, who's one of my subscribers. I haven't seen him on here tonight, but I am also building his, ooh, look out. They just lost the bubble card. I'm building his A New Hope graflex, and this one's going to have, this is an 89 Sabers graflex with the slide switch and the red button solution here. I've done a lot of preliminary work in the core. It's got full shine through already. I finally got the stock NeoPixel connectors and the adapters that I need, and basically the assembly is going to begin on this saber, so I'm good to go. And hey, Mike, by the way, that while we're talking about the True 1777, I installed a graflex for Mike. So when I was installing this saber, Mike, I used the 28 millimeter speaker, the same one that I used in your saber, and after 10 minutes of playing with this thing, that speaker went foobar, and here it is. Now these are the Smuggler's Outpost Elite 28 millimeters, and the metal came separated from it, which is why the sound didn't sound good, and I replaced it, and I put another Smuggler's Outpost 20 millimeter because that's all I had, because I bought like a gazillion of these things, and it went bad too. So I don't know what I'm going to do with your saber, Mike. I mean, we can just put a flat 28 millimeter in it. You're going to lose sound, or I can put a Vico-based speaker. We can talk about that later. But at any rate, I lost, now I've lost 4 or 5 of those speakers, so it's starting to become an issue. They were dependable, and now I'm not as favorable about their dependability, which is disconcerting because there really aren't a whole lot of 28 millimeter bass speaker options that are able to withstand the power that Profi can put out to the speaker. And Kyberphonics fonts are really, really hard on those speakers. So I don't know what we're going to have to do with your graflex. But at any rate, that's that. Next, another part, I got to show you all the marble too. Another part of Profi OS 5.4 test glue drying out. Yeah, something's going on with them. I never had dependability problems with the SO 28 millimeter speakers, but I've had 5 go bad here lately, and it's been disconcerting. But right now, I wanted to show you all something else. This is also part of Profi OS 5.4 testing that I was involved in. And y'all, I've been busy. I'm getting ready to show you all something else I tested in 5.4, which is pretty cool, called Marble. and it's a new NeoPixel effect that's pretty awesome. But at any rate, I'm going to plug in this sucker. Oops, I didn't mean to plug that in yet. I want to plug it into the speaker. Stand by, let me get my Acre plugged in here. And this is basically, you know, if y'all read about the Micom prop file in Profi OS, this is the Micom prop file. So I'm going to plug in my Acre speaker here. Hopefully y'all will be able to hear it. Should be.
I have been waiting.
There's the boot. And then this is just test.
Trigger 2, click 1. Trigger 1, click 1. Trigger 4, click 1. Trigger 2, hold 1. Trigger 7, click 1. Trigger 5, click 1. Trigger 3, click 1.
So that's one. But now I'm going to change presets.
This is the way.
Mandalorian with background music.
This is the way. How do I know I can trust you? That's not your concern. Yes. My ship has been destroyed. I'm stuck here on this planet. You think you can help? I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
And then the last one I wanted to show y'all was...
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
That's the funk sound.
But you are not a Jedi yet.
So there's 3 characters on this mic. This is kind of what I was telling you about earlier. Of course, this is a Vader template.
Take your place. I have been expecting you. No, as you wish.
And then check this out.
Stand here by my side. The dark side welcomes you.
I got to adjust the freezing point. It's a little high.
That kind of question arouses suspicion. Take care what you ask and to whom. As you wish. You would do well to join us in our destruction of the Rebel Alliance.
So at any rate, this was also part of Profi OS testing, and this is crazy, but this is actually a Teamzy 4.0, and you know, some other stuff that is complicated. But you guys can read all about it in the Profi OS thread. There's 2 of us that were testing the Teamzy 4.0 adds to this, and I was one of them. That thing works. It's awesome. It's incredible. But it's actually running on Profi OS. So the same OS that runs lightsabers is running that. How crazy is that? Frederick is a freaking genius. Now, let's show you Marble. I know this is crazy. I totally forgot I had to show you guys this. Marble is basically a new NeoPixel feature that Frederick invented, and he premiered it on his on his Obi-Wan Kenobi saber, and I just wanted to show you guys because it's crazy.
Close your eyes.
So what I want you to focus on is this strip of NeoPixels here, but as I move the board,
It will guide you.
they follow the board. It's going to be hard for me to get this to work because I'm on bench power supply trying to show you guys backwards. But this marble feature, it's like a rolling marble on a ring of NeoPixels, and as you move it, the marbles roll around, just like if it was a marble in a cylinder. And this is a new NeoPixel effect that uses the gyroscope to actually have the NeoPixels follow the movement of the board. And if you twist the board hard enough, the marble will, or the NeoPixels, light up all the way around. Like that. Isn't that crazy? So it's affected by the gyroscope. Never mind that one there. This was from a test board that we did a couple of weeks ago. But at any rate, that was another feature that I tested on OS 5.4. It's called Marble, and I will definitely be using the Marble in the chassis on this saber in the rear NeoPixels accents that I use on those. It's going to be awesome. Marble is just a crazy new feature. It shows you how crazy Frederick's brain is, and he's just incredible. So, lots of work. Frederick and Fernando, the level of work they've done to get battle mode up and running is freaking phenomenal. I've been testing battle mode in the Saber. I've had to recharge the Saber like 6 or 7 times, messing around with battle mode so much. And, I haven't put any feedback on TRA, Fernando, because I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I have encountered a couple of glitches, but I haven't been able to repeat them, so I haven't posted about them because it was probably just because I was doing so much crazy stuff with the Saber. But yeah, Bobby, that demonstration really just doesn't show how cool Marble really is, because it's on my bench board. I mean, I can see how cool it is in person, but trying to show y'all on camera, it really doesn't do justice to how cool that effect is inside a Saber. If you really want to see it good, go look at Frederick. Frederick has a YouTube channel. I think it's Frederick Hubinet is his YouTube channel. And go look at his latest video, which is his K4 Saber, and he has that marble effect in the back of his Saber. Yeah, I know Mountain Sabers. I'm so excited for, OS 5.4 to go ahead and be released. I don't know how close we are because I haven't been on the TRA because I've been having computer problems. But I put OS 5.4 in battle mode on this Master Replicas conversion I did, and this is done. But, this Saber went from blown up batteries, melted, coagulated plastic insides, blade that didn't even light up when I tried, to now this is, a NeoPixel Master Replicas conversion that think with Profi. 1.5 with swappable batteries. So this Saber went from the graveyard to, back to prominence where it should be. So that's kind of the shtick. I think that kind of got y'all caught up on everything I got going on. I have a lot of builds going on. So one thing I didn't really talk about on Monday, well, I didn't have a chance to talk about it because we weren't there. So my old house that I used to live in was under contract. We were supposed to close on November the 5th, and the guy that was buying it kind of started backing out of the deal. They started throwing all kinds of crap at me about the house. Like, it was an old house. I mean, it was built in the late 1800s, and it had asbestos siding on it, and I didn't remove the asbestos siding because there was nothing wrong with it. And he started lowballing me on the price because of the asbestos siding, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And that deal fell through. And put the house back on the market. The house showed 20 times this last week, and it's under contract again, and I got an over-offer price on it. There was actually a bidding war on my house, and it's supposed to close on December 11th, but, I've still been paying dual mortgages while I've been here, and it's been rough, so I know I have seemed a little distracted or a little angry, but I've had a lot going on the home front and work. Work's been extra special lately. Some of y'all know what I do for a living, and you understand that. But at any rate, things appear to be looking up. The old house is under contract again, supposed to close on December 11th. That will be the greatest Christmas present to me of the year to get us through this year. I'll be glad when 2020 is over with. Oh, Melissa's World is on, and I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, I saw the red blade, Melissa. So Melissa, for those of y'all that don't know, Melissa's World that's posting there, Melissa's blind, and the TRA built a charity saber for her, and it's loosely based on her design, but it is it's got a lot of Kanan Jarrus esque effects in her design. And she got her saber this last Monday when I was going to go live, and I wanted to talk about it. But Space Window did a video with Melissa, and it was really awesome. And yeah, I hear you, Mike. Well, I won't be leaving this house. I'm through moving and selling and buying for a while. I've got a great house now. I can't foresee any reason why I'd want to leave here. I'm close to the boat ramp, close to the ocean. I can hear the ocean at night from my backyard, which is pretty cool, even though it's about a mile away. but when it's pounding, so like right now the Hurricane Zeta is hitting here. Oh yeah, training has begun. I was surprised to see you on here, Melissa. I figured you'd be out training with your saber. But that Hurricane Zeta is hitting here now, and the ocean's just going crazy out there. And if you go out on my back porch, you can hear the ocean churning about a mile away. It's pretty cool. But at any rate, lots of stuff's been happening in the last couple of months while we've been doing all these live videos and the install on this saber. And I just wanted to give y'all an update on what was wrong with that. Since y'all were along for the install. Yep, it was a painful journey, but in the end, it worked out good, Melissa. And I commented on Space Window's video. There's a lot of ugliness out there on the internet, Melissa. A lot of people get behind the keyboard and they don't really know who's on the other side of the keyboard, and they're willing to say mean, hurtful things. I think there's too much of that going on in the world right now. I think that happened to you. It was unfortunate. That's why the TRA stepped in. The TRA is just an outstanding organization, and I'm glad that Griff made your saber. Griff did an outstanding job on that hilt. Griff is probably one of the best custom hilt designers out there. Griff can take even an existing hilt and make it better. He does a lot of steampunk accessorizing on his hilts, and he did Melissa's hilt, and it was freaking incredible. Scarecrow did the install on it with Griff's chassis, and then I built a blade for it. But here's a disclaimer, Melissa. I don't know if Scarecrow shared this with you, but Scarecrow didn't test my blade when I sent it to him. And he went to test my blade in your saber, it didn't work, and he tested one of his sabers and it didn't work. So Scarecrow actually had to take my blade apart and fix some solder joints. He didn't tell me what was wrong with it, but I told him, I said, go ahead and send Melissa's blade to me and I'll fix it and send it to her, or I'll send it back to you. And he didn't want you to be held up any longer from getting your saber, so he actually had to take my blade apart and fix it, which I'm terribly embarrassed about. That's only happened twice to me, where one of my blades had to be fixed, and I built a lot of NeoPixel blades. But kind of got me rethinking of how I do the data line. But at any rate, yeah, Darth Alice is another guy who's incredible. Darth Alice's saber work is there's so many great people out there in the saber community. Y'all see what I do. I don't build my own hilts. I'm not machining my own hilts. I take existing hilts, and most of the hilts that I install are original trilogy or sequel, the movie sabers. I don't do a lot of non-movie sabers except for my Nihilus. And even my Dark Force Custom Sabers Transcendence, that's kind of Kylo Ren-ish, blood-soaked Transcendence. Yeah, it was depressing, Melissa, about the blade, but, I'm glad he got it worked out. Scarecrow and I were talking back and forth on Messenger, and, I definitely offered to make it right. But I certainly didn't want to be the one holding you up from getting your saber, so I know Scarecrow had to tear into the blade and fix it. And, I haven't talked to Scarecrow about that, since he sent your saber to find out what he found inside of there, but I was sorry that he had to mess with it. But at any rate, it all worked out. Yeah, no, royalty is on this one. Royalty's on this one, Mountain Sabers. Oops.
Gray Skywalker.
That's royalty. Yep. You gotta just keep on living in the light, Melissa. Go play with that saber and practice with it, and you're gonna be just fine. And your saber is awesome. The funny thing is, when Melissa got her saber and she lit it up, and she did a video for Space Window, and the smile that was on her face was, worth all the problems we went through. Actually, this royalty is from Kyberphonic. on the Princess Leia hilt, the royalty font that I put on that comes from Kyberphonics. This hilt came out great. You know, we installed this on Megtooth Monday Live over September. Yeah, oh yeah. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, Melissa. I'll try and hold it up there for a bit so you can zoom in on it. But this is actually Leia's hilt from The Rise of Skywalker. There's a couple of scenes where this saber was in the movie. Most notably, where you see the saber the best is at the end of the movie when Rey buried Luke's graflex, and he also buried Leia's saber on Tatooine at Uncle Owen and Aunt Bru's place. And then she ignited her unique yellow saber. But yeah. Yep. I think case this is called the General. But yeah, Kyberphonics, this is definitely Kyberphonics royalty font that's on this one. But I'm probably going to add some more to this. So I'm not through with this. Like I said, I think I'm going to add those mother of pearl inlays on it. And it already has a mother of pearl button, but I'm going to add the mother of pearl inlays on the hilt itself. And I'm probably going to paint the chassis and, you know, add some more fonts to the saber. I'm glad, Bobby. I love these things, and Halloween is a great time of the year to whip out these sabers. And I want to make sure that none of y'all forgot about that, including Melissa. Yeah, it's crazy, Melissa. That Princess saber is crazy, but yeah, you know, Halloween is a great time to get those sabers out and ignite them. You know, Halloween, I'm going to be here handing out candy to kids in my new neighborhood, and I'm going to dress up as Kylo Ren. I'm going to have my Teensy Saber crossguard out there with me, the 26650 Teensy Saber crossguard that I still have, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, Max, I'll try and message you with the name. I've actually messaged him and emailed him, and he's not responding to me, but I know he sells them. And, you know, hopefully I can get hold of him. If I get hold of him, I'll share it on next Mondays that I was able to get him. Yeah, you're going to have to build some muscles, Melissa. The sabers with blades in them are heavier than they look. This is an Anakin Force Effects, Colin. And, you know, just to install it and all the stuff I got to put in it, you're looking at, you know, maybe somewhere around $400, $450, depending on what you want in it. And then you're going to end up paying about another $160 for a NeoPixel blade. But once you have one NeoPixel blade, it'll work in all your other NeoPixel sabers. So your first NeoPixel saber, if that's what you want, is always more expensive. That's always a tough question to answer. You know, how much for a saber? It's kind of like, you know, a guy that owns a speed shop for cars. Speed is a matter of money. How fast do you want to go? You know, the faster you want to go, it's going to cost more money. Like an all metal, you know, graflex chassis, just the chassis itself can be $1,200, like a Martin Beyer chassis, or a, you know, the top end Goth one can be very expensive. So that's a tough question to answer, Colin. But, you know, you can expect to spend with a NeoPixel blade about $600, $700 for that conversion. That includes the blade. These custom sabers are expensive. The parts to install them are expensive. You know, I've definitely sold sabers that were more than $1,000. I mean, I've got one saber in my collection. The chassis alone in that saber is over $1,000. And then you add the hilt and the electronics and everything else. You can sure bet that you know, that saber's probably worth about $2,000 if I were to actually get my money back out of it. So custom sabers can be expensive, especially with the Profi board and the programming involved with the Profi boards and NeoPixels, and the NeoPixel blades, you know, kind of make these conversions somewhat expensive, and not to mention the labor involved. For instance, if you, hey, Montreal Scott, sweet. This saber, Colin, we installed this saber. If you go back and watch all of my Megtooth Monday videos in September and October, I showed basically the install on this saber from the ground up, and it took 4 episodes of Megtooth Monday to install that saber. Each Megtooth Monday video was about an hour long, so it was simple, and this was a simple install. There wasn't anything really complicated about it. This was a very easy, no crystal chamber, nice simple chassis, removable battery, and it still took 5 hours of work to do that. And I know a lot of guys balk when I tell them that, hey, these things cost money, but I'm not going to sit here for 5 hours on my bench soldering under a magnifying glass for free. If I did that, I would be a very poor businessman. And I do think the fees that I charge are reasonable and in line with what other installers are charging. But all that's an aside, because I have a laundry list of sabers I need to install. You can see all these sabers on the bench that I'm getting ready to install those. And I got a lot of work to do. And I got 3 Vader's Vault sabers and a Yoda saber that I got to do. So I've got a lot going on, and I've got to get all this done before I can take any new commissions. I'm not going to take any new commissions until I churn everything else out there that I have in my repository to get done. I don't like doing business that way. I don't like holding on to people's property. If I can't turn around a saber within a couple of months, I don't like taking it. So here lately, I've been telling everybody I'm not going to be able to install until 2021. I think your saber vids they're awesome, Melissa. I've enjoyed them. I hope everyone else has seen them. I'm so happy to have your saber. I can't believe you're here watching this. You should be playing with your saber. It's Halloween. Get out there and wield that thing in the neighborhood and scare the neighbors. Scare all your Sith neighbors with their loud music. But at any rate, that's about it. We've been on for almost an hour, and I've got a lot of work to do. I've got some Mycoms to get put out. I got to ship this experimental Mycom unit to Florida, to the True 1777, and some other work to do. So I'm going to get back at it, and I'm sorry Monday got hosed, and I'm really sorry I missed Fernando's live video on Tuesday. I was supposed to be taking part in that, but with my LAN issues, that didn't happen. But I'm going to get back to work and start finishing all this other stuff that I got to finish up. But I will be back on for normal Megtooth Monday at around 8:30 p.m. and we'll be back in business. That's tough, Montreal. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Let me see what Colin has to say. Yeah, I mean, basically, Colin, what he was telling you. So this is a Master Replicas conversion that I just did. This is an Anakin Master Replicas 2005. It had a rusted out battery compartment in it. I talked about this saber in the beginning of the video and demoed it a little bit. And I turned that into a kill switch.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
And I've added buttons. And this one has battle mode. And it likes turning on. That saber wants to be on. But at any rate, I'm going to get going. We will be back on Monday. And, we'll get back to messing with your saber, Melissa. But I'll be back on Monday, hopefully, if I don't have another LAN issue. I'll be back on Monday at 8:30 p.m. And maybe we'll talk about building this graflex or the Star Killer that I'm working on. Hopefully I'll be able to show you some rust weathering that I'm going to be doing on this Thinway Star Killer, and it's going to be awesome. Oh, it's okay, Fett. Y'all have a good night too, and we'll see you on Monday at 8:30 p.m. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for watching as usual.
I really appreciate y'all tuning in on my channel. And as always,
Hey, Colin, there's instructions on how to do that with your factory soundboard on the customsabershop.com. But at any rate, good night, everybody.